You've been told you can't invest because you don't have enough. In 2026, that is the biggest lie in finance. Look, I get it. You look at your bank account and it looks like a desert, just tumbleweeds and a pending charge for a gym membership you haven't used since 2024. But wealth isn't a reward for having money, it's a reward for having discipline. A century ago, George S. Clason wrote The Richest Man in Babylon. He said, "A part of all I earn is mine to keep." He wasn't talking to tech CEOs. He was talking to people whose purses were so lean they were practically transparent. If you're waiting until you have enough money, you're basically waiting for a miracle that isn't coming. It's like waiting for your toxic ex to actually change. Spoiler alert, they won't, and neither will your bank account unless you move first. To invest, you need a gap between what you make and what you spend. David Bach calls this the Latte Factor. But let's be real for 2026, it's the delivery app brain rot. You're tired, you're scrolling TikTok, and suddenly you've paid $28 for a cold burrito because of a small order fee, a service fee, and a regulatory response fee. You're literally paying a premium to stay broke. Morgan Housel in The Psychology of Money says, saving is the gap between your ego and your income. Your ego wants the $80 aesthetic sweatpants to look low effort in your Instagram stories. Your income is crying in the corner. If you can't find $20 a week by cutting one convenience meal, you aren't broke. You're just unorganized. You're treating DoorDash like a basic human right. It's not. It's a wealth leech. Before you buy a single stock, you need a fortress. Dave Ramsey says, everything that can go wrong will. And for us, that usually happens right after we've spent our last $50 on retail therapy because our situationship just ended via a liked message. His rule: the $1,000 starter emergency fund. This isn't for a new tattoo or a concert ticket. This is for when your car decides to start making a sound like a haunted blender. In 2026, keeping this in a traditional bank is a crime. Use a high-yield savings account. Why? Because trying to invest while you have credit card debt is like trying to fill a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom. You're paying the bank 24% interest so they can buy a private jet, while you're hoping for a 10% return on your $5. The math is not mathing, guys. Buy your freedom from the banks first. Now, where do we put the money? Most of you want to find the next big coin or a stock that's going to moon overnight. That's not investing, that's gambling with extra steps. John C. Bogle, the legend behind Vanguard, said, "Don't look for the needle in the haystack, just buy the haystack." In 2026, we have fractional shares. You can buy $1 worth of the entire U.S. economy. Think of it as a financial smoothie. Instead of trying to guess which fruit is going to be trendy next week and ending up with a bag of rotten lemons, you buy a cup that has a little bit of Apple, a little bit of Amazon, and a little bit of every top company. If the world keeps spinning, your smoothie keeps growing. It's the lazy way to win, and honestly, being lazy and rich is the ultimate Gen Z goal. You might feel like you're behind because you're 22 and don't own a villa yet. Relax. You have something Warren Buffett would trade his entire $100 billion empire for: time. Morgan Housel notes that nearly all of Buffett's wealth came after he turned 65. If he had started in his 30s like a normal person, he'd be just another rich guy you've never heard of. Your minimum wage job is temporary. Your bad hair era is temporary. But the compounding effect of starting today is permanent. Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Don't be the one paying for some CEO's third vacation home because you were too overwhelmed to set up a $5 transfer. Here is your day one task. No excuses. Open a brokerage app, Fidelity, Robinhood, whatever doesn't have a weird interface. Set up a recurring transfer for the price of one boba tea, $5, once a week. Dump it into an S&P 500 fund. Now tell me in the comments, what's the most ridiculous thing you've spent money on this month that you're willing to cancel to start your fund? I'm looking for the most chaotic answers. Subscribe or stay broke. Your choice. Let's get that fortress built.